Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, that little fountain roundabout that you may have spotted in the corner there, that means that's the Anavargus roundabout. So this little slip road joins us up to the Paphos Limassol roundabout. There we go. Slowly but surely, if you stick with the channel, you're going to get to learn your way around Paphos and, well, other places as well, obviously, as we start to travel, that's for sure. Now, let's see if the Breakfast Club is in town. Are you ready to go, guys? Let's go and see who's sitting on that sofa. Now, we know Dawn's going to be sitting there, Mr. Sean's going to be there, hopefully Anne's going to be there, and hopefully Roger's going to be there as well. And of course, getting ready to kick off on the treadmill, I'm pretty sure that my Goombara number one, Mr. Alan, is going to be there as well. So flick it on, Alan. Let's start to get going, and let's see if we can build you up into a bit of a sweat, shall we say. And of course, I cannot forget the wonderful, beautiful cat known as Miss Daisy, who's got a bit of Cypriot in her because she was born in Cyprus, and she's sitting there now looking back to the island of love, Paphos, thinking, oh my God, look at the weather. Have you seen it, Dawn? Temperature 19.5 degrees, and we haven't even got to lunchtime yet. Second week of January, and the sun is belting down. It's cooking us to death, and that's the absolute truth. It's cooking us to death. Peter, all the way up there in Derbyshire, well, it may be damp and wet up there, and I'm not making fun of you, but over on the island of love in downtown Cyprus, it's cooking us to death. We are going to get to about 22 today, I would say. That's definitely for sure. Anyway, stick with us. In front of us, that is the Limassol roundabout. If you were to go left, you'd go up to Konya and Armu and onto Memphis Hills. And if you were to go around it and take the third exit, you'd go down to Paphos, mid-Paphos, and of course keep going straight, and you'd end up in Paradise, which of course is the Cape of Paphos harbour. But we're not going on either of those, nope. We're taking the first exit off here, and we're heading out on, well, the first stop would be the Paphos airport, I suppose, for most people, and then you might want to keep on going to Pissouri, to Limassol, to Nicosia, and possibly even Larnaca, which is where I'll be going in a few days, by the way. Why is he going to Larnaca? Guess what? Miss Archingua both. Yes, Marika, the most beautiful woman in the world, will be jetting into downtown Larnaca, and she'll be bringing the baby LaBouffe, and Mr. Paul will be jetting off down the highway and starting his descent into Larnaca and picking them up and bringing them back to Paphos. So guess what? On your screens next week, there's going to be the dancing Chuchka girl known as Miss Archingua LaBouffe. So, we're flying up the bypass, and the speed limit on here, by the way, is 100 kilometres an hour, but in Cyprus they're quite lax, so you're allowed to go 20% over, so you won't get any problems from the boys in blue unless you're doing 121 kilometres or thereabouts. So I always stick to about 110, although, as everyone understands, when Mr. Paul is filming, because of his concerns for Mr. Allen on the treadmill, I drive that a little bit slower, so we're doing 85 kilometres an hour up the bypass. There we are. Now, where are we going? That's the bit you're curious to know. Is he going to Mandrea? Is he going to go and see Mr. Neil? Nope. Is he going to Pissouri? No. Is he going further? No. I'm not. We're going to start our descent very, very shortly down a hill, and then we're going to take the next exit off. And that next exit, after we get round this wiggly waggly one here, must be a mobile phone or something involved. He's scratching his head. Yep, the sun's bothering him as well. And on top of all of that, he's adjusting his flip-flops. Anyway, back to the story. We're going to start our descent very, very shortly, and then we're going to come off at the next exit, which is the exit for Koloni. And that's one of the main industrial parks or sites in and around Paphos, and that's where you'll find, you know, an awful lot of servicing, car servicing, lorry servicing, aluminium window manufacturers. There's an awful lot going on there anyway. You're going to get lost, by the way. It's like a maze in there, that's for sure. But anyway, we are going to turn off, and we're going to go to the workshop. Miss Caroline, are you on your little cushion? Yes, because the road service is not too bad on here, but hopefully you're jumping up with glee because we're going to go back to the workshop. Yes, that's where we're going to go. We're going to pop into the workshop, have a little bit of a mosey on down and see what's going on in downtown Abra, the car body shop, and we'll pop in next door and see Marios and see what he's up to, see how my little rampant rabbit's getting on. We'll have a little walk around one or two of the cars and we'll introduce you to one or two of the stars. You never know, the Shishka Pike boys might be chilling out and relaxing and smoking a little bit of that old stuff, that's for sure. Plenty of gumbarras in there, and I even think that my brother might be there as well because he is dropping off a car and it's been picked up. We've had it MOT'd, doesn't seem to be much problems with it, and now we're going to give it a good service, wash inside and out, and return it to that very, very happy customer. And then of course we can have a rummage in her wallet, her purse, because she's a lady, and see just how much money we can get out of her. But as she once told me, you cannot beat the service that you offer, Paul. You are a nice guy. Blow me on trumpet now, but I am a nice guy. I remember once she phoned me up, she had a puncture on a Sunday, and I jumped into the old Merc, razzed out to save her. My brother changed the tyre, I drove her home, and then we delivered the car back that little bit later. So that's the kind of service that we like to give, and obviously most people are quite happy to pay for that service. Now if you're wondering what that is in front of us, that's a bin lorry, and it started its life probably in the UK, and then it's come over here and it's going up to the main area where they empty all the bins, and there's a bit of a landfill going on there. But whatever you do, don't tell the EU, because they don't know anything about it, because it's totally and utterly illegal to have landfills in a European country. So whatever you do not tell those gumbarus over in Brussels, otherwise Cyprus will get fined, or they'll have to lie. Anyway, rant over. Where are we? Well, we've entered the little compound, and now we're going to wiggle and waggle up, sit on that pillow, Caroline, because this road service round here coming up is absolutely diabolical. But anyway, we're going to go into the workshop, we're going to have a bit of a dismount, and we're going to see what's going on. And I invite you to come with us, and we'll have a good look around and see just what is going on in the life of Mr. Paul, and what does he have to do to keep that beautiful smile on the beautiful face of Miss Ochin Residia Labouf. So here we go, we've arrived. Let's go for a bit of a dismount, and I'd like you to come with us. There's one of our gumbarus over there. Not a bad lad, but he's a little bit cold, so he says. So here we go, we're going to go for the dismount. Yeah, here's Mr. Paul. Well, let's go and have a look and see what's going on. And there he is, there he is. Some people know who he is and some people don't. He's off now, he's wanted by the police in many, many countries indeed. Anyway, let's go and have a look at this white car over here and see what are we going to do to it. Because this lady had a little bit of an altercation with a bus, but luckily for her, she didn't hit it too bad, should we say. So what she's done is clipped it, so you've got a little bit of damage down here, as we can see across the side. That's the main impact as we come down, and that's where she hooked herself onto the front bumper of the bus, and then she dehooked herself and then decided to clip its front bumper that little bit again. So there you go, not too bad, but well, it's going to cost her €1,000, shall we say. There's a few hire cars about. There's that man again. There he is. He's desperately trying to get on to Marika and me. Let's go and check what he is actually doing.
I was just about to go on YouTube.
He was about to go onto YouTube, and he promises me that he was going to go on to Marika and me. Anyway, we've got one of these little Mickey Mouse cars in. As you can see, we're putting a few bits of plastic panels on it, and we're going to respray it. And, well, someone's going to pay us. Why? I don't know. Here's a car that's coming from the UK, had a bit of a smack before it arrived, and now it's going to be done up and it's going to go onto a nice car forecourt, and it's going to look rather nice. And we've got various hire cars scattered about, and of course here's where we park up cars, shall we say, that have had a bit of a smack. This one's had a few new parts on the front, and that one, well, what can I say, that's had a bit of a smack as well. And then over on that side over there, we've got all the mechanics. So that's the cars that are in for servicing and bits and bobs. That's Marius's hangout, and of course this is where it all happens. This is the car body shop. There's Abdullah. You all right? Good, he's doing well. And as we keep on going through, you're going to start to notice, some people might remember this car from quite a while ago. That's a work of art of a car, that car. And slowly but surely, it's going to become a true collector's piece, because the gentleman going to pay us an awful lot of money to make that Honda CRX a work of art. And as you can see, it does have the remnants of a H on the front. Let's go and check on the back, because everyone knows that I do like a Honda, because they are the best cars in the world. And look at that, it's got a H on the back. And if you've got a H on the back of your car, you will be doing all right. There's another one. Have a look at that. One of the best cars in the world. If you're looking for a nice little run around, that car, the Honda Jazz, is a great car. Honda Fit, we call it in here, because it comes direct in from Japan. So, and there's another one right next door. Have a look at that. And a pickup in, and a few other bits and bobs. And there's Ibrahim in the background, desperately hiding. There we are. He's wanted by police on many different continents. There he is. Yassas, you all right? Got a great smile. Absolute superstar. You all right? Good. Hard workers, by the way. There's no one that works in the body shop that doesn't give their heart and the soul. And I think that's the same in most body shops around the world. Because contrary to the belief, body shop work is not easy. There's many people out there who understand that, and there's many people who think, it's a little bit of paint, and there you go, chuck it on. Now, I've just noticed this car's coming. Now, I know who owns that car, and I hope he's all right. I really do hope that he's all right, because as you can see, well, something's gone on, and he's bent the roof. Oh dear. But there doesn't seem to be any blood inside it, so that's a good sign. He's a Jordanian boy, and he's a really nice guy, and he comes from the mechanics next door. Nothing to do with us, but I've met him quite a few times, and he really is a superstar. He's a lovely lad, and he's got blonde hair, for God's sake. Looks like an absolute star. He speaks perfect English, and that is his car, because I know that because we put a new engine in that car not long ago, and we did that bumper not long ago, and as we can see, well, something's gone on. It looks as though somebody has mounted his screen. So I hope that whatever happened, but there's no blood. That's a good sign. There's no blood on the outside or the inside. So that's a very good sign. Anyway, customer of ours, there we are. He backed into his wall. He's done it a few times, to be honest. And just to make it that little better, well, he damaged his front bumper, and again he hit the wall. I think there's something to do with alcohol, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go back to the body shop. Now, if you like watching these kind of videos, please drop it in the comments, and perhaps we could show you the process as it goes on and on and on, because there's an awful lot of cars in here, as you can see, and we do a good job, and we do work very hard. We're not the cheapest body shop in Paphos, that's for sure, but we're not the dearest either. Anyway, there's a nice little Suzuki having a bit of bobs done to it as well. So there's a lot of cars in the area that get work on, and also we work on top high-end cars as well. We even have a man who has a Ferrari. Yes, nice guy. I've often said to him, why would you buy a Ferrari and drive it around in Paphos? But hey, everyone has the choice of what they want to drive. Now, have a look at that. Another little Honda, another Honda, because there's a lot of clever people in the world. And if you remember a long time ago, that's a Mercedes that we acquired way back. One of these days, we are going to get it back on the road. But as you can see, it wants quite a lot of work, and finding the parts at a reasonable price in Cyprus is very difficult. Anyway, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, hit that like, click subscribe, and why not come back for a little bit more of Paul's insanity. And don't forget, if you really want to watch the channel grow, please consider buying me a coffee, because I do consume 5 to 6 every single day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.